So apparently streaming is harder than a regular job.
A real job does not expend your social battery in the same fucking way as someone who did a sales job, a real job, okay? I'm telling you, as someone who did both, 9 hours of constant performance and people pleasing taps you out from social scenarios. After 9 hours of that, I could probably do fucking physical labor. It would not bother me, but I can't fucking do more social shit. That's my point.
I'm the same way.
There are obviously real jobs out there that are good comparisons. Service sector, people pleasing jobs would be very similar. Those are like, I think, customer service type shit. But like if you're an accountant or if you're even like in sales, my interactions with clients was limited, way more limited than like constantly having to do this for 9 hours with like a back and forth interaction for 9 hours. That's what like sucks your social battery and you just tap out after it.
So people getting mad. It's a bad take. What's it a bad take of? He says that he gets exhausted socially because he's talking to people for 9 hours a day. You really think that's not true? I mean, you really think it's not true that after you spend 9 hours being investigated by thousands of people with every facial movement, everything you say, every word, with people constantly trying to disagree with you and fight with you, that's not socially draining. This is totally understandable. And he's not comparing it to every other job. He's saying compared to other jobs where you're not talking to people constantly. His take isn't broad enough. Yeah, it is. He explained it pretty clearly.
I swear to God, bro, Hasan might be 50 Cent because he's got Asmongold looking like Olivia in the candy shop, bro. Like, take the lollipop out your mouth. Second of all, the irony of this guy is, bro, he said in the start of his video he wasn't planning on streaming.
I actually wasn't even planning on streaming today. I was like, I think I'm gonna just take the day off. But I started reading Twitter. I was like, man, there's a lot of retards. Like, I gotta.
That's basically the same as you have a job, right? You have a job, and on your day off, you decide to go into work anyway, just so you can complain about the fact that you're at work. Does that make any sense? This man had a day off streaming, then decided to boot up stream just so he can complain about streaming. This is the guy defending Hasan. Bro, please just, Asmongold, my bro. If you're a fan of Asmongold watching this, tell him to take it out of his mouth, please. Like, thank you. Now, I don't really know too much about these guys and their background. I'm aware of Hasanabi. I'm not aware of the other guy. One thing I will say though is that these guys have become successful and rich based on the fact that average people like us give them money and attention. That's the only way you really become popular. Consistent money, consistent attention, consistent views on your streams. If we're calling a spade, you relied on public handouts, because that's what stream is. Now that might be too black or white, or you might think that sounds a bit harsh, but am I lying though? Like, if the audience didn't tune in every stream, you'd be updating your CV. It just is what it is. But for me, it's the entitlement. Talking about social battery and all this shit and how it's so hard to stream for a certain amount of hours and all that jazz. Look, spare me with that bullshit, okay? Imagine being in a job, yeah, where you can pick the hours you want, the days you want to work, what you want to do when you're at work, and who you want to work with. That's literally the perfect scenario. And you're up here talking about it's harder than a real job? Okay, why do you think so many people are trying to make content right now or try and be entertainers? It's because they're trying to escape the 9 to 5. Because 9 to 5s are that bad. It's that shit of a job. It's that shit of a cycle that people want to do anything they can. Learn real estate, become an entrepreneur, be an entertainer, be an athlete. Why do you think all these things are so popular? It's because people don't want to be 9 to 5 workers. Because it's shit. A lot of the time it's shit, especially if you have no high income skill, working as, I don't know, something that's just bottom of the barrel. It's terrible. You do most of the work, you do a lot more physical work, there's a lot more baggage, and you get paid pennies compared to other people. Streaming 9 hours is such a hard thing. People are looking to disagree with you. People are looking to catch you out. Hello, that's every person who's successful on the internet. So many people that aren't about politics have haters. Look at the sidemen. Are the sidemen politics? They have a bunch of haters. Everyone has haters. Everyone who's successful has at least a group of haters preying on their downfall. It's not just Hasan. And streaming for 9 hours every day, no one's asking him to do that. Stream for 3. If it's that bad, stream for 3 hours. Matter of fact, go get a real job. Update your CV and go get another job. These men out here are just ridiculous. The amount of benefits you guys have is insane. Like, for us, right, we don't have the savings you guys have to just say, fuck it, we're not working for a while we deal with our stuff. We gotta deal with everything while we're working. If we don't like our job, that's tough. If we don't like our colleagues, that's tough. If we don't like our boss, that's tough. I mean, we can't pick these things. If you're a successful streamer and you don't fuck with a certain group of people, You could fuck with other people and still be a streamer. If you don't want to play a certain game, you play a different game. You do whatever you want. That's the whole point. That's why people want this, because you get freedom. If you don't want to do a politics stream, Hasan, you could do a different stream and still get thousands of viewers. Like, I understand what you're trying to say, bro, but the difference is that when it comes to streaming, the social aspect is really all that matters, because if you're not entertaining, you can't be a streamer. But when it comes to an actual job, there's so many more aspects to it. It's not just about the social battery. For example, people in the medical field, right? They're going through the worst shifts, they have the worst hours, they have to deal with some of the worst scenarios in terms of health. It's not just about social battery for these people. Everyone in the transportation business, in London we have TfL, Transport for London. There's a reason why these people are on strike every month. It's because the type of stuff they have to do, the amount of scrutiny they go through, the amount of abuse they get, it's not worth the money that they get. Unfortunately, some of the tragic deaths, especially with train driving, it comes along with it. It's unfortunate, but it's the way of the world. But there's a lot of stress and a lot of social problems that will come with transportation industry. People in education, teachers, dealing with kids 5 days a week. Even when you're not working at school, you're working at home, whether you're preparing for a lesson or you have to mark certain things for an exam. There's so many things you have to do. And every year you get a new set of students for the most part. You're gonna tell me that's easier than streaming? And as I said earlier, streamers, they'll probably have an even better social battery than the average person, because not only is it their job to be social, you again pick and choose who you want to be social with, at what times you want to be social. So yeah, you may stream for many hours on end for a certain amount of days, but you have the luxury of being able to tone it back. If we're working 5 days a week and we feel the mental struggle, we still have bills to pay. We don't get paid enough to just take off the next week. We don't make enough to say, you know what, we're just gonna go down to 3 days a week and we're gonna be just a-okay, because we got bills to pay. This is what it is. And when it comes to the chat, if the people in the live chat didn't want to be there, they wouldn't show up. Like people who are watching this video right now, if they don't want to watch it, they wouldn't have clicked it. So the people in the chat clearly want to be there. So there's no negatives at all for you. When you're in an actual job, your social battery will drain quicker because you can't control who your customers are, who you work with, and who you work for in terms of your immediate boss and all that type of stuff. But you can't control those things, and it's much harder to change fields or to just change jobs. It's much harder to do that than with streaming, because you can just pick a new day, pick a new game, pick a new person to play with, pick a new time to stream. Your fans gonna show up regardless. Like, come on. To Hasan, and I think his name's Asmongold, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, all right? I promise you I'm not. What you said was dumb, okay? What Hasan said was dumb. You looked even dumber trying to back it up though. And I don't know if it's because you're friends with Hasan, I don't know. Maybe you don't know Hasan. He said some stupid shit and you agreed with the stupid shit, meaning you're a stupid shit. That's it really. Take care.
I'm not a savior nor a saint. Told 30s and sticks with an open case. I try to behave when I know I can't. So purpose of this is to motivate. What's the ticket? Shit we can negotiate. Take a toke of the law while I